Allison here. Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Travel Stitch Journal number 6. I've got loads to share with you, other than just my wonderful time stitching and sewing. So let's get going. Here we're off. Our maps told us to go by the 101, and here we are going under the 6th Street Bridge that a few years ago, 5 years ago, was taken down. We had been across it with our bicycles during the marathon bicycle ride as a family. Here, of course, is downtown Los Angeles. We're on the old 101 that cuts through East LA and then through downtown. You can see that large Wilshire building. It's the tallest in town. There's our city hall to the right. Here we are headed into the underpass that goes down beside Alvera Street, our oldest section of downtown Los Angeles. And then to the right are courthouses and our city hall, our music center. And then at the very end of this underpass, there it is up ahead, you see our cathedral. Our Lady of Angels, completed in 2002 by Spanish architect Moneo with no right angles. I noticed that the bridges that we just went under, only that one had tents on it, where before they were rock solid. This is Echo Park, home to many films. I think the biggest one is Chinatown. Here we are headed through the Silver Lake area into Hollywood, and I'm attempting to grab, there it is, the observatory, famous for James Dean's Rebel Without a Cause and Rocketeer. And then up ahead, I think here's Melrose and Normandy. I used to get off here to go to Los Angeles City College, which is just there to the right, for the LACC Theater Academy. There's the Hollywood sign. That's what I was attempting to get for you. They're just off the freeway. Of course, Hollywood, the Hollywood sign used to say Hollywood Land when the realtors put it up and then removed the land part. That is a sign that has been put up more recently, though, I think in the last couple of decades, as the old one was falling down in the 80s, and then the 80s version was also taking a dive. This is Hollywood and Sunset exit area, and the Hollywood area with major theaters and concert venues are over there. As we pass the exits for Hollywood Boulevard and then Sunset, we're headed towards the exits to go to the old Hollywood area up here. And my goal is to get a photo of the Capitol Records building. And there's old Hollywood, the old Hollywood hotel signs, and there's Capitol Records. And then just up ahead to the left, you'll see some white through the trees. That's what's visible of the Hollywood Bowl. And I tried real hard to capture it, and up ahead, you're gonna see that. As we work our way over the pass here, we are going to the Hollywood Bowl, there, a little bit. We're gonna see over here on the right, here's the bridge for Mulholland and the Hollywood Hills homes with their celebrity owners. And then we're headed up here to Barham, which you can go up to the left. And I am going to pan to the left to show you that. And then there's all the Hollywood, beautiful homes up there in the hills that face into the valley. And then here's the Universal Studio exit, and there's Comcast Universal. And right after we pass the exit, I want to turn and show you the little black building that, of course, was in Earthquake. Oh! Disaster movies of the 70s. And then we pan right over to Ventura. Oh my gosh, we just went about 80 miles. That hotel there on the left is the one that was in Little Miss Sunshine, if you've seen that movie. Oh, and there's a bell. That bell along the freeway, they appear about every mile, and that shows that this is El Camino Real. That's a sign in really good shape. And then, of course, it's the historic Route 101. It goes from our international border with Mexico to San Francisco. This is our local mission, San Gabriel.
Is one of California's best-known roads. And if you grew up here, you probably heard a story that goes something like this.
Remember, it's the same road the Spaniards followed almost 200 years ago. Only they called it El Camino Real, King's Highway. Try and imagine how it looked then.
You mean with Spaniards on horseback?
In your own mind's eye, yes.
Legend has it, El Camino Real is an ancient road built by the Spanish to connect their 21 missions along California's coast. But what's the real story of this Camino?
The Spanish, often enough you read in textbook that they blazed trails, but they didn't blaze trails. They followed trails that had already been developed by the indigenous people up and down the California coast. Eventually, they come to give these major paths the name that was given to all major roads in the Spanish Empire, Caminos Reales, royal roads, because technically everything belonged to the kings.
The Spanish didn't build El Camino Real. They used trails built by indigenous people. And while they did give El Camino Real its name, there were many royal roads, not just one. This royal myth started circulating during the Spanish Revival movement at the turn of the 20th century. It was a marketing campaign from the Automobile Club of Southern California that helped it spread.
They created the notion that these missions were basically deliberately located a day's journey from each other to encourage people to buy cars, buy gas, and in doing so, take the mission tour to relive the founding of California. It was all a fantasy kind of thing.
This fantasy version of California history caught on in this state, and soon, many wanted to see the missions brought back to their former glory.
A lot of them were in really sad shape. If you look at pictures from the 1860s and 1870s, the missions are crumbling.
In many ways, the ad campaign worked, and without it, we might be looking at a string of ruins along the California coast. Instead, we're left with beautifully restored churches and the myth of El Camino Real that continues to be told today.
And as school children in the 4th grade, it was time to do your mission. So my husband and I did missions, and our kids did missions. Here we are going through Santa Maria. Look at the wine grapes. And what shows is, there's fall in California. See those leaves turning colors? Here we are heading into Avila Beach, just past Pismo Beach. And we're gonna line up with our campsite up there on the right. And my husband wants me to turn the camera off. Keys to the trailer are right inside the door on the hook. How'd we do, Eric? I'm sending this to Clayman.
Did good.
Okay, good.
Did good.
Okay, what you got, Port San Luis? Let's see it. We headed out on a walk, and look at the most gorgeous chocolate-colored Great Dane. She was so gorgeous. And there was just some other dogs out there on what is known as Dog Beach, and just had a lovely walk. I was embarrassed to film it, but there I'm just squeezing her in right at the end. Love that doggy. And I turned around, and there was someone fishing over by the dock. and I thought that was a great thing to do that day. Someone is actually on pier. Don't you know? Cal Poly Pier is only available to students and staff of Cal Poly, so we can't walk on it. The Cal Poly Pier area is super pretty, and it's interesting that right there in that small bay, there are 3 good-sized piers. One where we're staying near San Luis Port is for commercial fishing, seemingly. And then the Cal Poly Pier, which looks very slick and new. And then the Avila Beach Pier, which was built in 1909 and closed, needs help.
Wow. Oil tanker Montebello was sunk by a torpedo near San Simeon only hours after refueling at the port.
Wow. So there was stuff going on out here. So a pier goes back a long time here. This one just looks so new because Chevron built it. Coastal birds. Got a nice plaque here in front of the beach. So some of the birds are Mr. Pelican. Now I can put it correctly in my journal. What did we say it was? Foster's turn.
Yeah.
Foster's turn. That was diving. Diving headfirst into the water after fish. Yes, that is definitely.
Sick crow. He wouldn't be letting us get this close.
Wonder if they're having a book club. So quiet. My goodness.
Compared to what we've been through
Yes.
when we come down here.
Holy night, it's quiet.
Parking lot's empty.
Yeah. I went to a t-shirt shop down the way, and 6 degrees of separation. The man who sold me the t-shirts knew my daughter-in-law's grandfather's art. That was just a neat connection that we had. He had purchased palm frond for his displays and carved wood art pieces. Here we are at the Blue Moon French Cafe, where we enjoyed the afternoon. I had my French onion soup, and Eric had a really beautiful avocado sandwich. Enjoyed that a lot. And in our return walk back to our trailer, guess who was still out there playing on the beach? Gosh, she's a gorgeous runner. Check this out. He's gonna throw the ball with one of those plastic slingers, and I tell you, she is going to win ownership of that ball. Absolutely beautiful. One of our evenings there, we headed on over to Pismo Beach or Grover Beach and enjoyed a meal at Finn's Seafood Restaurant. Nothing like their clam chowder and beverages. Loved it.
Birthday.
And that night when we returned, it was actually a little cool, and so we fired up our, quote, fireplace. Bougie, I know. And on to stitching. I'm going to get on my cut and cuts. So sweet. Apple cider. Clue 9. How exciting. All I'm waiting for is clue 10 then to complete my quilt. Let's get rocking with this. Oh, nope. I'm going to actually work on my Nectarine Fusion fabric cotton cuts. Team Unita d'Italia. And this is the quilt called Piazza from Cotton Cuts. It's the most recent one. Let's whip this out and get going. It was important that I had the fabric key, and my fellow guildmate Lois hooked me up with a picture so that I could line them up on the table and do them correctly. The next day, mid-morning, we went for a walk out on the San Luis Port Pier. Be kind of crazy if you were driving down the freeway. That trailer should hold that.
Yep.
Very good. The Harefour or Harfour Pier. Pier 3, constructed in 1873. Interesting. You drive on it. Signs instructing the mariners what the various piers or sections are for out in the bay, and that this is a protected wildlife area. Looks like he's just getting sun. Afternoon sun is just too good. What's he munching on? Something, that's for sure. Oh, I hear him breaking it. So they get the mussels off the piles. Heck yeah. He can open up a business. Awesome. Okay. And what are these two up to?
think they're just chilling.
They are, yeah. Now that I have my camera brought up better on them. Just hanging. As we were leaving the area of the pier end, there was a couple of great bulletin boards, and as a school teacher, I just really appreciated the effort put into this one.
The focus
All
being showing
kinds of
kids how to fish.
and their fish, just sharing
What
the
is that? That's like a
sport
rock
of
fish?
fishing with the next generation.
Look at that. That's awesome. What is that? Holy cow.
I'm about to be run over. Oh! It's a memorial to commercial fishermen, and it has their dates on there. Fisherman's Memorial. There's a bench up here and tables.
Push up.
Turning my pants legs up, I see these pants are stained with paint from painting sets at school. Memories. Back at camp, I got a chair out and got to stitching, and then watching the Fosters turn, just dive in for fish repeatedly, and at times there could be 2 or 3 together going at it. And I was so glad that we spotted them on the sign over in Avila Beach.
Wonder if they had to figure out a way to make sure all those cars weren't
Watching
parked
the
there
birds,
anymore.
I noticed in the background behind them, here was coming the semi-truck with the barge that it was towing. And I know it's like I have nothing to do with, the trucking industry and marine boating, but it was just, I guess we were enjoying it because of our grandson. If he would have been here, we would have just had such a kick sharing this with him. Here it comes up the road, And it's, of course, then gonna make its way around our campsite right in front of us. Good times. As the truck slowly makes its way up the road there, you can see in the background behind it, as it makes its way up, the entrance to the Diablo power plant. And I tell you, I never knew how many people are employed at a single power plant like that. There would be shifts, not just the 5 o'clock, huge 5 o'clock p.m. turnover, but at 10 o'clock and 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. So this campsite, the definite con that I put in our travel journal was that the traffic of folks coming and going, there it is, right there behind it. As it comes up behind this large fifth wheel, you're going to see the entrance to the Diablo power plant. Not that one, but that one to the left. The one to the right is the RV park. Bye, barge. Wherever you're going, I hope you get fixed nice. And then the next day, we were to say goodbye to Port San Luis, and we would be off to Santa Paula. Loved our spot there, just not the traffic noise. Very nice. There's the entrance to the power plant. And I found a Google search. I found the overview of the power plant, which we can't see any part of. And off we go out of Port San Luis, out of their Avila Beach, and up through the canyon to the 101 is where we're headed. Bye, Avila Beach. It was so quiet. Very few people. Just us retired folks, riding our bikes, hanging out, doing book clubs, chilling. So this drive up through this canyon is just picturesque, beautiful. At one turn to the left, you can go up to a winery called Kelsey Winery, and they have flights or tastings you can get, but we learned last time you need to bring your own food. They do not serve food, and so to sit there and do wine tasting, you just felt like you needed some cheese and nuts or a sandwich. We didn't do it. I was talking about it, but we did other stuff. Our walks, which were really nice. There are homes up on the hill that have just lovely property in front of them, rolling hills. They have, I think, goats or cattle further back, not down this far. Just lovely pieces of property. And the Kelsey Winery is there up on the left. Oh, there's color. Color, color, color. Autumn color in California. Yes, it exists. You turn left there to go to the Kelsey Winery. At those shift turnovers, we notice that this road, gosh, it does get fairly impacted by the traffic flow from people coming and going. And they definitely use that to go north towards San Luis Obispo, or stayed on this direction to go up to the 101 to go south. On the left, there's a neat farm, the Avila farm, and you can pick whatever crops they have put in. They will sell you a head of lettuce, which you can feed to various animals in their ranch, in their park. Up here on the left is a hot springs resort, and then we stayed at the KOA just there to the left on that street. Here we go, headed out, going south now to Santa Paula. Such a glorious day. Beautiful, beautiful, crisp horizon line on the Pacific. Up ahead, you can see the white dunes of Pismo Beach. looking back at where we just came from in Avila and Port San Luis there. You see all the boats. And we're going through Shell Beach area, is what this little town is called.
Just after we had gotten through downtown Santa Barbara, here he was. We noticed these paragliders up high and just enjoyed watching them float on the wind. It was gorgeous. They had perfect lift. Excellent. And here's what's on my lap as we make our way towards Ventura Ranch in Santa Paula. I grabbed this out of my bag and got going on it. I was able to do it on our asphalt highways, but concrete highways are just too bumpy. And we got safely tucked away in campsite number 12 at Ventura Ranch. And enjoyed. Perfect afternoon. There's a really long one. Bunch of them. It just must lie. Because when I searched that, it wasn't. And as soon as we got to Ventura, Eric decided that the evening we would head out and go enjoy our meal at the Glen Tavern Inn, which is a registered historical landmark. And they have just a beautiful, beautiful lobby. And then with our menu, they gave us quite a history on it. It's been around since 1911, and it's been home to oil barons and movie stars staying there, notably John Wayne and Carole Lombard, even Houdini, and the dog Rin Tin Tin even had his own room. It's got ghost stories, it's got a Renaissance rebirth. Cheers to 39 years. We had a lovely time. There was a live pianist right behind Eric. And then once we got back, what better way to celebrate our anniversary than to have Eric turn on a really good movie. And I tried to get my sewing machine set up without too much interruption, but you can hear that I caused quite the sensation. But I got my stitching put away and my sewing machine out, and I got going. So I've gotten this far in the 3 days that we've been here. I'm working on the ball of yarn that's white and pink. And then this afternoon we're headed, or this morning at 11:30, we're headed over to Ventura. And so I'm looking forward to starting some sewing pieces. I've got 2 blocks of the month in my bag back here. And I couldn't do them because I neglected to bring the fabric key along with me for what like fabric A is, fabric B, and so on. So I'm gonna get to those this afternoon. I'm looking forward to that. But I think it's gonna take us 2 plus, like when I looked last night it was 217, and so I think during the day it'll probably take us 2.5, 2:45 as Eric drives cautiously. So I'm looking forward to getting to the Ventura Ranch KOA. So thanks for being here. Our second and final evening there, we chose to get our fire ring out and enjoy a little fire ambiance around our campsite. It was definitely cool enough to have that out. We hadn't enjoyed it, gosh, since last year. And here's what I'm working on, and I'm conquering that yarn ball. Yay. Good times.
You calling Katie?
No.
Oh.
Okay. You could tell it was Saturday. There was several families gathered together playing music, and their kids were playing. Sunday morning, we decided to go for a walk, and we went down to where there is a stream back behind the teepees and the tiny homes hidden out back in the woods. And Eric found the path, and we just needed to find... Oh, we couldn't really hear it, where in previous campouts there we've heard a bit of a roar and there was nothing. And then as we turned to the left there,
Love you.
we could hear the slight sound of water. Awesome sauce. Take a deep breath. Here we go up. And as I'm making my way up behind my hubby, just thinking about the great
Yes, for sure.
week we had together celebrating our anniversary. It was just an Epicurean's delight. We invested a lot in the menus. First at Old Juan's Cantina in Oceano. We had a lovely lunch at the French Blue Moon in Avila. I enjoyed crab cakes, and he had a lovely big bowl of soup, bread bowl of soup at the Fat Cats Cafe in Port San Luis. We enjoyed Finn's Seafood Restaurant in Grover Beach. We celebrated our anniversary at Enzo's Italian Restaurant at Glen
The last vestiges
Tavern
of actual water.
in Santa Paula. And then the final night, we enjoyed good old brats
flows right here
and salad at site number 12 at the KOA Ventura Ranch.
time.
We made it to the top.
Any fishies in there at all?
My husband is good to play along with me, so we're going to get our picture documented here, taken care of, and I'm going to go into my clickbait that my anniversary was poop. Of course, on Saturday, I was enjoying my YouTube mom and pop quilt shop, moderating as I should, when I was visited by the bluebird of happiness.
I think further
A
down.
woodpecker hooped on my keyboard and my screen, and my hero helped me clean it up. What a yucky mess. That guy, I tell you, that woodpecker. And of course, I was on the lookout for him. Where is he? And he was there the better part of the morning, continuing to take care of his dietary needs up in that tree over our heads. I just was sure to move out of his direction. I moved closer to the trailer, and Eric put out the canopy, and he could just peck away as he should. I considered it quite the blessing, as that has not happened to me in a long time. I don't think since I worked at the happiest place on earth was I pooped on by a bird like that. That was gross.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We could use this one. It's by the trash can. Okay.
Kicking back, enjoying our morning coffee before we have to pull out and head home. It's been a terrific, terrific time together. Perfect weather, my goodness, just excellent. A little bit of rain in San Luis Port, but overall, just crisp and beautiful. And we're caught behind the lineup at the dump station. Oh boy.
Part of our house, and I could see her. So her little green.
Very nice.
thank you so much for being here. If you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and leave them. Thank you for being here, and we're looking forward to the next one out to Anza Borrego with old Scout parent retired friends. Looking forward to it. Take care all. Bye-bye.
Enjoy that trailer.